not everyone you fall in love with is marriage material.
If somebody is not able to trust, then you cannot build anything together.
Okay. If you want to go to theology school and be a pastor, and me, I want to be an Instagram influencer doing Fashion Nova outfits. We're both ambitious. We both want to make money. We both want to support our families. We're not going in the same direction, honey. I mean, I'm a lunje. If you can't cook ugali, I'm telling you, if I had brothers, I'm sure we'd have a problem. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It's your favorite girls, the Moda from Mamas. Yes. So I saw this article somewhere on some channel online about how not everyone you fall in love with is marriage material. I thought that was deep because I feel like everything we watch, all the movies since we're kids, Disney, everything, it teaches you, right? You meet that person, you fall in love, you marry them. So I thought that was pretty deep. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't know. I don't feel about this one because marriage is difficult, right? It is difficult. And so if you're not able to overcome some challenges while you're dating, then sure enough, you're not going to be able to, overcome some of them into marriage. Mm-hmm. So I agree, but it should be, I guess it should be left to individuals and for them to decide, like, this is not for me. Just like the way I see some people saying, motherhood is not for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that. So could be.
My thoughts are, first of all, and this is the thing, demystifying this love thing, because I think as a female, it's pushed on us so much that one, we're emotional beings, and two, that when you fall in love, it's the ultimate thing. I am a firm believer that you can fall in love more than once in your life. Yes. Yeah. But I also think love is a choice. You get these feelings, you get these emotions, but it's also a purposeful choice to push yourself in a certain directions. Because think about it, right? There's guys you see online and you're like, that actor is cute, blah, 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 right? It's an attraction, right? Now you can choose what to do with it. You can become obsessed and be like, oh my God, I just want to meet Velma, just be with her, like, or you could be like, okay, that's a cute somebody, and keep it moving. So in that regard, I feel like love is something, yes, it's an emotion you feel, but it's something you choose to build upon. Now, you can choose to build that with somebody that is worthy of it and therefore lead to marriage. Or, you can love somebody and love yourself more, love yourself enough to say, this is not the place for me. Because for me, if we don't have the same ambitions, us being married is not going to go anywhere. It doesn't matter how in love we are. It doesn't matter if we hear birds every time.
Right. So in other words, you're saying you can grow into love, you can grow together. And
I mean, our grandmothers were brought to men they had never seen before. They built homes, and some of these men died. I know, like my grandfather died when my grandmother was pretty young, and she never remarried. And as a woman, I just can't imagine. I mean, she had the same hormones we do, right? Like, she just chilled.
But were they happy?
I think some of them were. My grandparents on my father's side, my grandmother died. I literally think she died of a broken heart. I believe in this so much. When my grandfather got ill and had a stroke, I'm telling you, as soon as my grandmother knew, she had a stroke. When my grandfather died, my grandmother followed soon after. And I honestly believe that was a broken heart. Like, you've grown so in tune with somebody. You're so used to having them around. The thought of being without them is no. So I do believe you can grow into love. Does it happen for everybody? No. But I mean, there's 1,000 cultures around the world where people build families and come together and they stay loyal. Now they go run around and do stuff. That's a whole different story, my people. But I do believe you can grow in love with somebody.
So then, the marriage, when you talk about, not everybody is a marriage material, I think it's also the character, someone's character. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. If somebody is not able to trust, then you cannot build anything together.
You're right.
And those are deep issues, because if somebody is not able to trust, it has nothing to do with you.
That's them and their baggage. You're correct. A lot of times we blame men, and I'm sorry to put it this way, I'm just generalizing, that man can't do that. But if you as a person already go in there, because a lot of us, yes, I know, I'm a chick, I've been cheated on, and it's hard to break away from it. And guys go through it too, don't get fooled. There's men out here who, really good men, really strong men, but they're not able to function in a relationship because of what somebody else did to them. So if you are not able to break that before getting into a meaningful relationship, it doesn't matter how much you love that person, it doesn't matter how much that person loves you, marriage is not on the table for you guys. Until you are healed, they are healed, and you're able to grow together, you're wasting a lot of time.
But then are you gonna say that such a person who is not trustworthy, who is still healing, is not a marriage material? You understand?
At that time, no.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Just because somebody was not in their right mind, they were not in the right situation, And so whatever relationship you had did not work, doesn't mean cannot have that with someone else.
Right. But what I mean is, where am I meeting you in my life? If I'm ready for marriage and I'm dating you and you're at that point in your life, then you are not marriage material for me.
Right. Yeah.
And it's okay for me to say I love you very much, but this is not for me, and move on to find somebody who's at the same place I am. So that's all I'm saying. It doesn't write you off completely.
Yeah.
At some point you will be. Another thing I feel that will make someone not marriage material, no matter how much you love them, is if you guys are just going in different paths in life. Okay, if you want to go to theology school and be a pastor, and me, I want to be an Instagram influencer doing Fashion Nova outfits. We're both ambitious. We both want to make money. We both want to support our families. We're not going in the same direction, honey. That's just one of those things. You don't have to be a bad person.
Right.
I'm just not for you when you're not for me. So you guys have to be realistic, because a lot of times we're just in survival mode, especially those people born in third world countries. You're always in survival mode. Okay. Yeah. Can we move from a bed sitter to living in a better neighborhood? Can we pay school fees? Can we do this? Okay. So you've had a hardworking man who's ambitious, he's working hard, he's doing this, but are you going in the same direction? Are you going to then turn around and tell me the same thing that's putting food on our table I can't do anymore? No, you're not, honey. You surely are not. So I'm just saying.
What about culture? Culturally, your beliefs.
I'm a big believer in love as we see it in the movies, but I'm also a big believer in reality. And guys, as much as these movies tell us that, culture is a big fact. We're Kenyans. Tribe is a big factor. There's some people who cannot get married simply based on the tribe, because we don't do things the same. We don't cook things the same. I mean, I'm a Lunje. If you can't cook ugali, I'm telling you, if I had brothers, I'm sure we'd have a problem. So you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
That might be something small to you, because maybe you've grown in a generation where, well, but babe, we can order out. Like, what's the big deal? Right? But it could be someone else whose mother, the in-laws are watching, and their is you're not able to provide for my son, therefore you are not a worthy wife. And if that's the case, I don't want to go into a relationship where I'm going to be fighting with in-laws every day.
There you go.
Peace of mind. Okay. If you're going to build a family, being a mom is already so much pressure. I don't need an outsider telling me how to be a mom and I'm a bad.
Right.
At that point, no. I love you.
Yes, I've also seen the society where we have this maendeleo wanawake back home, and everybody in the maendeleo is either divorced. This is Matakarua. This is the likes of, and so everybody tried. Everybody thinks like lawyers. Those you can never. They are not marriage material. What do you think? What do you have to say about that?
I think those are intimidated men. Actually, I think those are intimidated boys, because a man will be strong enough to take on a powerful woman, love her, and see where the family. Can you imagine marrying somebody who's a go-getter? You don't have to tell them, babe, go out, find a job. This is somebody who can do it on their own. Okay. Can you imagine someone who's in sync with you and they understand, babe, we got bills to pay. I don't have to sit home and watch the baby all day. Let's pay a nanny because we'll pay her. Like somebody who thinks. Okay, thinking is gonna turn me on more than any other love type of something you're gonna do to me. So if he can't stand your ambition, sweetheart, then that boy is not for you. Find you a man.
There you go. She said it.
And another big one is family. And this one, I tend to think it's a woman mentality that you could change a man. And actually, you know what? Let me stop lying. It's men too, because nowadays we have more and more career.
Yeah.
Kids. So this notion of, we'll get married, don't worry, she'll suffer. No. Believe that person. If they say I don't want kids, or I want one kid, don't go into it thinking, okay, eventually I'll just get her to get 3. No.
Yeah.
If you don't have family, the biggest point of getting married, as the Bible says, to multiply. If you cannot agree on that, honey, I may love you, but you're just not the person for me.
And that doesn't mean, there's some red flags you can see in a relationship, in the beginning of a relationship, and some can be changed, some cannot be changed. Yes. So it's going to be up to you. Am I willing to continue with my life with this kind of a situation? Am I willing to compromise on these things?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then if you choose not to talk about, you're going to be resentful, you're going to be all this thing, you're not going to be happy. Eventually, it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Yeah. And talking is important in relationships. I mean, as women, I think where I grew up, you were taught you don't ask a man these things, you'll scare him away. But listen, if we're going on 3, 4, 5 serious dates and you were talking about future, I want to know, do you want kids? Are you okay with a working woman within the home? These are things that you should, it doesn't mean we're getting married tomorrow, but why waste any more of my energy if this is not going anywhere? I just keep ask your questions, sisters. Don't feel embarrassed. Yes. Brothers, don't assume that because I'm a woman, I want kids. Ask, do you want children? Are you okay with living in shags if I buy a big farm out there? Are you okay? Ask these questions, get your answers, have you a lovely relationship.
Right. And don't be worried. Don't be worried. Don't be worried about asking questions because you fear the response.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
oh my gosh, I don't want to lose him. So I don't want to ask this and this. Because eventually you'll have wasted so much time.
And you're gonna lose him
Not
anyway.
recover. Yes. And
Mhm.
it's still, yeah. So
Yeah. I would rather rip it off when it just needs a band-aid than get to the place where I have to put a whole, to cover the wound. That's what I'm saying. And so again, this being said, I do have to touch on this. We've spoken about it in our previous videos. Marriage is not necessarily the ultimate goal. Again, everybody is different. Marriage works for me. I love it. Hey, loved it so much I did it twice. But I'm just saying, there's people who work and marriage is for them, it works. There's people who I've seen who date. Look at Oprah, one of the most successful women on the planet, and her and her dude, they're good, and they've been together for years, and they're okay with not being married. So find what works for you. Choose what that makes you click and makes you tick. I mean, personally, I would say for me, especially legally, I wouldn't want anything to happen to me, and my husband can't pull the plug if I'm in the hospital, or those little things for me. If he got hit by a car, God forbid, and then they're like, oh no, his money's going to his mom because you're not legally married. Who's been cooking and cleaning and washing? We don't do that over here, honey. But if you're okay with all that and it's not a problem for you, enjoy life. I would just say, make sure you've signed your papers and you know who owns what, lest you wake up one day and find yourself with a Derek Jackson. Sorry for another day, because I saw videos of him and his wife. But anyway, there's good men out there, people. I'm just saying, there's good ones, there's good women out there, people. Find your person and love in a way that works for you, only for you.
And don't allow the pressures, the society pressure, or family pressure, anything pressure. You gotta it has to be from you. Be selfish in this kind of decision making. Because you have only one life to live. You're not gonna leave it for anybody else.
And you'll be living there by yourself. Ikikuwa mantra, ikikuwa bedsitter, ni wewe utakuwa kwa hiyo relationship. It's you who's gonna enjoy your person and your children. Relationships are not for pain. I don't know why we have this notion that tumetoka mbali, tumepitia vitu mingi. Kupitia vitu mingi si lazima ikuwe ni uchungu. Okay, we can go through happy times and fun and love. So listen, guys, let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what kind of relationship you're in. Let us know what's working. We might be naive because we only picked one direction and we're willing to learn. But more importantly, subscribe, keep watching, and we'll see you on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Is the More That for Mamas.